Steve here. We're all so busy these days, and the cost of living crisis still has us all in its grip. Simply finding time to assess where we are in our finances and what to do if things aren't great money-wise is a real challenge. But there are things that we can do that take minimal effort but can have a significant effect on our time and money, especially if we stack them all together. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 8 one-minute micro habits that I use and have found to be really helpful in saving me both time and money. They're very simple to adopt, but combined can have a very significant impact on your money and time. So let's go. Number 1, plan your meals in advance. My wife and I have 2 young boys, so for us, it's become almost a necessity to plan our meals. We even have a board on the fridge where we set up all the week's meals. The amount of time this saves has been fantastic, and I would say even more important than this, it stops us agonizing about what to cook every day and just silences that whole debate. It also makes shopping so much easier as we can set up a shopping list online with our provider and click once and we buy it all again every week. Research shows another benefit in that people who plan their meals in advance have a healthier diet and spend less money on impulsive takeouts and expensive snacks. So try to set aside some time to think about the whole week's meals and write them down and buy everything you need for that whole week. I'll guarantee that you find this approach gives you back some time and will save you money, and you'll be surprised at how much headspace this clears up around tea time every day. Automate your savings. Surveys show that 60% of people don't have enough savings to cover any unexpected expenses. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I'm a big fan of paying yourself first. Now, this is the idea that before you pay out for anything else, be it bills, social spending, food, shopping, or whatever, you put a minimum of about 10% of your salary into savings or investments. Taking just 1 minute to set up an automatic transfer from your current account to your savings account each month, where you're prioritizing your future financial security, whether it be by growing an emergency fund or building an investment. The amount of psychological relief you get from having a safety net of cash for any future unexpected expenses is immeasurable compared against the stress of knowing that the next crisis might very well sink you and your family. So if there's one thing on this list I would prioritize, it would be this one. Start it today. In fact, if you click on the link above, you can learn more about how important an emergency fund is and how best to go about setting one up for yourself. Control social media. Now, we all know how pervasive social media is and how it can take control of your attention and your time. It's not surprising too, as these feeds are controlled by some of the biggest corporations in the world that have the deepest pockets and spend literally billions of dollars perfecting the art of grabbing your attention and keeping it glued onto their platform. And so we all spend far too much time scrolling aimlessly from one video to the next, getting one small dopamine hit at a time for each funny or interesting or weird video that scrolls into view. So we really need to get some control over this, and here's how I do it. Turn on the digital well-being functions on your phone. You should be able to find this in the settings. This will summarize for you just how much time you're spending per day on the different apps on your phone. It can be quite an eye-opener. And once you have an idea of how much time you are spending on these apps, there are tools there in the settings to help you disconnect. Then I would recommend having a period in the day where you put your phone down or in flight mode out of reach. Set it aside for a time and commit to not looking at it for an hour or two. If it rings, you can look at it and decide to see if it needs picking up, but otherwise, put it down and leave it alone. Use this time to consciously do things for yourself or things that need doing. Another idea is to have a social media fast. Go a day, a week, or a month without looking at Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. You can safely delete the apps to help them make this easier. You can always download them again later and log in, and everything will still be there to pick up again where you left off. But see how you feel after your fast. Maybe you won't be so keen to download them. Think of all that time you've saved that could be used for something much more productive, not to mention the improvement you might feel in your psychological well-being, not looking at everybody else's perfect lives. Shop with intent. So if you years ago, we lived in the center of the city, which meant that heading into the shopping district was really easy and something we would head out to do just to get some air and do some window shopping. And quite often we would end up spending money on impulse buys and things that we hadn't thought we would need. These days, because we live in the outskirts and we have 2 young boys, we have to plan our trips into the city with much more intent. This has meant that now we have to go into town almost on a mission and stick closely to our plan and get out as quickly as we can before the boys get bored and start acting up. What all this has taught me is that apart from how hard it is to be in a public space with bored and irritable children, shopping with intent will save you huge amounts of time and will also save you considerable amounts of money. Having a simple shopping list will totally focus your attention and ensure you spend only on what's necessary. So take a minute or two before heading to the store to create a shopping list based on what you actually need. Stick to the list while shopping and avoid impulse buys and aimless browsing. So this simple habit will save you both time and money by keeping you focused and on mission. Set up direct debits. This is one of my automate your finances as much as you can tips. Like paying yourself first, setting up automatic direct debit payments for all your regular bills is a no-brainer really that will help save you both time and money. Instead of having to remember each month what bills need paying, going into your mobile app and paying off each of your bills individually, get a direct debit set up and have it all work automatically. This way you'll never miss a payment and incur any late fees, and you'll stop having to carry all of that around in your head every day. A further benefit to this is that many providers will actually give you a discount for paying with the direct debit, so you could end up saving even more money too by adopting this method. Embrace the 24-hour rule. And we've all done it, browsing online when you see some amazing new gadget or appliance that just happens to be on sale and looks so cool, /useful, /unique, fantastic. It's just what you never knew you needed, so click, and you've bought it. And later, it's sat in the cupboard gathering dust. So what I do to try and avoid this situation myself is to adopt the 24-hour rule, which is to hold off buying the thing for 24 hours to give myself a cooling off period. Now, research shows that this delay can help you avoid impulse buying decisions and help you save money. Use this time to think about if you really need that solar-powered waffle maker or if it's just a fleeting desire. Often you'll find that the sense prevails, helping you avoid buying stuff you don't actually need. Bonus tip here is that if you do succeed in avoiding buying something using this method, put that saved money into your emergency fund or your investment. If you were willing to spend it so readily on something that you don't actually need, well, how much better for that money to be put to better use, securing your financial future. Optimize your daily commute. So commuting can be a big time and money drain. Driving yourself to work is both a drain on your finances and bad for the environment. And it's also lost time that could be put to better use. So using public transport instead of driving can save you an average of £8,000 a year, and also gives you back your time that you could use to simply relax, read, or listen to podcasts. Don't forget other options like carpooling, biking, or using these new e-scooters that are dotted around everywhere these days, all of which can potentially save you both time and money on fuel and parking expenses. Also, these days, don't be afraid to explore with your employer if you can work 1 or 2 days a week from home. Now that gets rid of the commute problem altogether and helps both you and the environment. Reduce your energy use. So a few years ago, I invested in replacing all my bulbs with energy-efficient LEDs and buying a smart heating setup. Now this has saved me loads of money on electricity and gas, especially since the cost of energy has soared over the last year. Well, LED bulbs are now as cheap as the regular incandescent bulbs and are simply a no-brainer as they use a fraction of the energy, have long lifetimes, and don't get hot to the touch, which is a bonus in a house full of toddlers with curious minds and fingers. The smart heating system has also been a real money saver. There are many of them these days, from Hive to Tado to Nest, and although the initial cost is still a bit high, in my opinion, they do help save money over the longer term by monitoring the rooms in your house and automatically controlling the temperature on each radiator. And they also give you easy to use apps to help you control your heating on your phone, and they automatically bring the temperature down to a minimum or totally off when you leave the house. So take a minute and to look into replacing your bulbs and weighing up the cost of a smart energy system to see if it works for you. So that was my 8 1-minute micro tips for saving money and time. Now if any of that was useful, please push the like button, and for more videos like this, think about subscribing. Also, if you have any ideas or questions about saving money, then please use the comment section below. Click here too if you want to learn about 5 of the most common money traps that people fall into and how to avoid them in your life. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.